Just want to make sure. All right. Well, we will call the meeting to order at 7:39. First order of business will be approving the minutes from July 24th, 2023. So I will make a motion to approve those minutes.
I second it.
All right. Jason, I don't think you were here last month, were you? No. Is that Mark Atkins, all in favor? Aye. All right, so guests, it looks like just all the regulars today. Yes, looks like just all regulars.
I'm having trouble hearing you, John. It's real jerky.
I know it's really lagging a lot.
You're in and out.
Hopefully we can get through this.
Can you name who is there, please, John?
Hey, everybody. I'm sorry I was late.
Yep. Yeah, so in the room here we have Evan, Jason Brandt, and Bill Petravich. Jason, there's four of us here.
Oh, and Mindy just came on, and was that Al before?
I just came on. Jeff's here.
Yeah.
You got me?
Okay.
Yep, we got you, Jeff. Yeah.
All right,
Jeff
thank you.
is here. Okay.
So for guests, we have Roger, Barbara, Bill, and Mindy.
Kismet.
Kismet?
And Kismet. Okay.
All right. So as far as emergency management goes, well, before I get to that, do the guests have anything specific that they'd like to bring up before we get started? If not, you guys know the routine. Feel free to jump in at any moment. So emergency management and hazardous waste sites, we have nothing from that for this month. So we'll move on to zoning and planning applications. The first one on the agenda is PB 2309. All right, PB 2309. It is on block 7002, lot 11, which is 1654 Catawba Ave. And they are seeking a minor subdivision. So subdivide lot 11 to create one new lot. A variance is required. Oh, that's not that one? Oh, right. Sorry, that's not PB 2309. Variance is required. Okay. So, yeah, this is a site that the proposed cannabis thing was on that we reviewed a couple months ago. And basically, they want to subdivide this 21 acres into two lots, a 3-acre lot and an 18.8 acre lot. Or no, I'm sorry, it's 24.8 acres total. So they want to subdivide it into two lots, one 21.8 acres and one 3 acres. Proposed lot 11.01 will be a 3-acre parcel that the house sits on. There's a residential house and a large farm field. They basically want to separate them into two separate lots so that the house will be on a 3-acre lot and the large farm area, which is 21.8 acres, will be a separate lot. And I think I just want to double check here, but I think the only variance would be for an existing non-conforming setback of where the house is.
This is a planning board, though, right?
Yes.
So they're not actually seeking a variance, are they?
Yeah, front yard setback.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a waiver or variance, but it's
It's an existing condition.
Yeah.
yeah. So the house is only 60 feet back, and the required minimum distance is 75 feet. So that's really the only relief that's being requested for this minor subdivision. And I don't see any environmental impact from allowing this subdivision to move forward. There's no development proposed on the larger site, or either site really. The one site's already got a single family home on it, and the other site doesn't really have any infrastructure except for one greenhouse. But there's no development proposed on this larger site. So I can't think of any potential environmental impact.
Wonder why they would want to just, why not just keep it the way it is? If they're not going to.
Well, probably so. My guess would be so if they wanted to sell this large, 21 acre lot.
Yeah.
If they wanted to keep the house, or maybe the opposite, keep the land and sell the house.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just want to make two parcels out of the one existing parcel. Yeah. So they just want to make two parcels out of one existing parcel. So anybody have any comment or any potential comment to put on our environmental review sheet?
No comment.
I think we're leaning towards no comment.
Right.
So some of these plans I just got today. That's why there wasn't a whole lot of information on the email packet that I sent out to everybody. Like there wasn't application numbers because I didn't know what they were. So one of the applications that is on the agenda, it's under C PB 23 -- just minor subdivision. That's actually PB 2310. So we'll do that one next. And this application includes 3 lots that they're adjusting the lot lines. It's technically a minor subdivision, but it's really just a lot line adjustment. So the 3 lots, or I'll read the block and lots. Block 301.07, lot 19. Block 301.03, lot 8. And block 404, lot 1. And this is, on the application, it says Catherine Court. I looked up the address on a map, and it says it's Catherine Drive. So either the map on the internet is wrong, or the plan that the applicant submitted is wrong. But with block and lot, we know exactly where it is. So they're proposing a single-family dwelling on lot 301.07, lot 19. It's currently an undeveloped site at the end of a cul-de-sac. And the way that the lot is situated, there's almost no frontage directly onto the road, but it's kind of weird because the cul-de-sac, where the cul-de-sac goes like around in a circle, the radius of the cul-de-sac, the lot only touches one small spot on the radius of the cul-de-sac. So technically they don't have enough frontage. So one of the lots, which would be block 30103, lot 8, they're ceding a little bit of their property, adjusting the lot line to give lot 19 a little more frontage. And it would go from 66 existing frontage, 66 feet of existing frontage to 110 feet of existing frontage, which I believe is still undersized. But considering how it's situated on a cul-de-sac, on the radius of a cul-de-sac, it doesn't really seem like it would have much impact, and it's got a long driveway. So it doesn't really seem like there would be much of an impact there. And now this plan is really hard to describe over the Zoom meeting here, because there's a lot of adjustments to existing lot lines, and these lots are already irregular. And this just further exacerbates that, because the way these lines are getting adjusted. So let's see, what's this? Lot 8. Lot 8 there's an existing pool house on Lot 8, and that existing pool house infringes on Lot 19. The pool house is built right on the property line and extends onto Lot 19. So Lot 19 is going to adjust their lot line to give Lot 8 enough room to have their existing pool house conforming with the necessary setbacks. So just to review on these two lots, Lot 19 is a large undeveloped lot, and they need more road frontage on Catherine Drive. So Lot 8 is ceding some of their land to Lot 19 in exchange for Lot 19 giving Lot 8 more land to make their existing pool house conforming. So I hope you can follow that. There's really zero environmental impact as far as that goes. So those are two of the lots. And now there's another lot on the other side of Lot 19, which is block 404, Lot 1. So Lot 19 is also ceding land to Lot 1. And that land that they are ceding is currently an electrical easement. Looks like high tension power lines going through there. Lot 1 is currently, it looks like it's really developed. It's already very undersized. It's only half of an acre. And after this lot line adjustment, it will become 1.3 acres to make it more conforming or closer to conforming. So just to sum this up now, we have Lot 19, which is currently 5.2 acres. After the proposed lot line adjustments, it will be reduced to 3.8 acres. But in exchange for that, they get more frontage, which will bring them closer to conforming. I can't see any environmental impact.
John?
Yeah. Yes.
Can you hear me, John?
Yes.
You're completely frozen, and I can hardly understand anything that you're saying. I don't know if anybody else is having trouble.
I'm hearing feedback. I'm assuming John has something on, like a phone with a speaker that's getting double feedback.
Okay.
I'm not
He's
having hearing, but I'm hearing the feedback too, but I can hear John fine.
I hear the feedback also. I hear myself talking like on a couple second delay.
Right.
So, well, like I was saying, this application is kind of complicated in the way that the lot lines are existing, and even further complicated by the way that they're proposed. But it brings all lots closer to conformant. It makes the smaller lots larger, and it brings Lot 19, which there is a proposed single-family home on it, gives them more of the frontage that they need. So I don't see any environmental impact here. Where they're proposing to build a house, it looks like they're really limiting the tree clearing. It shows where the proposed well, it shows the proposed septic. They have a long driveway, and that lot looks entirely conforming. So I don't think they're asking for any waivers or variances on the lot they plan on developing, and they bring the other two neighboring lots closer to conforming. So I don't see any environmental impact. Do you guys see anything that concerns you? So Evan and Jason also looked at this lot, and I explained to them exactly what I just explained to everyone else before the meeting, and we don't see any impact on the environment in a negative fashion for this application.
Could you just repeat for lot 1, the 404 lot 1?
Yeah.
It's currently how big, and it's going to what?
It is currently 0.56 acres. And after the proposed lot line, it will be 1.31 acres. And I should note that that lot has frontage on Lakeview Avenue. And the other two lots that we were discussing has frontage on Catherine Court. And those two roads are separated by a electrical easement. Now, I just got this plan today because apparently there's only 3 of these site plans that have been submitted to the township, opposed to, I believe it's 18 that is usually required, but there was only 3 submitted. So we have this plan just to review for tonight, and then I have to put it in the Dropbox right after our meeting so they have a copy of it at the municipal building. So if anybody would like to review this plan, it is available at the municipal building. But like I've said a couple times, I don't think there's any necessity for us to be concerned about any environmental impact for this application. So I would recommend we go with no comment unless anybody else disagrees. All right, well, we will move on to the third and final application we have to review tonight. And this does not have it's just PB23- for now because it doesn't have an official title. It's not labeled yet. I guess probably the application is not complete yet, so they haven't really given it a number. Okay, let's see. So this is block 403, lot 30. It's 86 Sunny Hill Ave. It's also a minor subdivision. Subdivide a portion of lot 30 to create one new lot. Variance will be required for undersized lots. 1.5 acres is required in this zone, which is RA, and the proposed lots will both be undersized. One will be 0.91 acres and the other will be 0.85 acres. So lot 30 will be 0.92 acres. Lot 30.01 will be 0.86 acres. So this lot has frontage on Sunny Hill Ave, and the backyard of this lot extends, looks like 775 feet all the way to Lakeview Ave. So it has frontage on both roads, Lakeview Ave and Sunny Hill Ave. The owner of this property basically wants to cut it in half. So he has one lot that has frontage on Lakeview Ave and one lot that has frontage on Sunny Hill Ave. There are a few pre-existing non-conforming issues with this, including minimal street frontage. Both lots will only have 100 feet of minimum street frontage. Front yard setback of the existing single-family home is only about 48 feet, where 75 feet is required, but that's pre-existing, non-conforming. So new variances are required just for the undersized lots. So they barely have enough room for one conforming lot, which is, I think, 1.7 acres, which is how the lot currently exists. and they're pretty much cutting that in half, trying to squeeze another lot on this area. So I looked at the satellite of this area to get an idea of what it's like, and it looks like all of the lots are the same size. They're all pre-existing non-conforming lots that were planned several decades ago before our current zoning made these lots pre-existing non-conforming. So I would, initially be opposed to allowing two such undersized lots. But considering the area, all of these houses and all of these lots, it would match all of the neighboring properties, up and down both Lakeview Ave and Sunny Hill Ave. And so I'm kind of conflicted about this because I don't like to, give our approval for such undersized lots, but considering the area here, I'm not opposed to really not making a comment on it, but I'm eager to hear what everybody else has to say about allowing such undersized lots.
Well, I don't think there's any point in changing zoning if you're not going to conform to it,
Yeah.
It seems that, the whole point is that the undersized lots are a potential problem from the standpoint of wells and septic and groundwater recharge, or rather,
Nitrate.
nitrate dilution. So, I don't know what we can say environmentally other than that. Size too small to guarantee water quality, something to that effect.
May negatively influence water quality. It may have a negative effect on water quality.
On groundwater quality, yeah. They have super long backyards on that street. I remember those houses.
Yeah.
And of course, it makes sense to them since it goes out all the way to another street. It makes sense to them to get rid of the woods behind their house in order to sell off a lot and raise some money. I understand that, but on the other hand, I bet the whole backyard, that whole 750 feet, is all wooded, right?
No, it's actually cleared.
Oh, it's cleared already. Huh.
No, it's actually. I looked at the satellite image and it's all cleared. And I had a different feeling about this before and after I looked at the satellite image. Before I saw the satellite image, I was entirely opposed to creating such small lots. But like I said, after getting a better evaluation of the entire area, it kind of fits the way the neighborhood is. So it would be hard to imagine the planning board denying this applicant their request based on the surroundings. But I think it would still be appropriate for us to air any concerns that we have about, the density and the strain on the groundwater quality. So if everybody agrees, I will make a comment on our sheet that allowing the undersized lots may have a negative effect on groundwater quality. Everybody's in agreement with that.
Totally, yeah. I feel like it makes sense in the neighborhood because I've been on that street before. It's just probably one of the more densely populated areas in our township.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want any negative impact with groundwater and all that stuff.
Right.
So yeah.
Agreed.
It also increases the stormwater runoff, and I'm not sure what measures they even have on Lakewood at all for stormwater.
Yeah, well, it's Lakeview Ave. Yeah, it's Lakeview Ave. I understand what you're saying. It seems so developed and so many single family homes there already that it would be hard to imagine one more squeezed in there is going to make much of an effect. Although it could if it's not done properly. And there is no development proposed on the lot as of now. But they still have enough room for their all their building setbacks.
I bet if you research that property at one time, it was a separate lot in that development, and then at one point it merged with this lot. You know what I mean? Like I bet it originally was plotted as a separate lot.
Yeah. I mean, it would make sense because that's how all of the neighboring properties are separate lots.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we'll just make a comment about the possible negative effect on groundwater quality.
Okay.
All right. Those are the three applications we have for tonight, and we can move on to old business. Piney Hollow being the first. I haven't heard any updates about the Green Acres grant. Last week we had discussed that we would like to, as an environmental commission, be informed of the bid packet that they put together. So I emailed the engineer that's in charge of this, or that's the contact that I have for that, who I forget who it is, but I didn't receive any response from that email requesting information about this. So I really have nothing to report about the Piney Hollow Natural Area or the Green Acres grant. I know, Barbara, you've been staying informed on this issue. Have you heard anything since our last meeting? Any updates about this?
No, and I haven't been going to a lot of meetings to ask.
Okay, so I mean, I guess I can follow up again and send another email, or possibly go to a meeting and inquire about it. We haven't had any updates for over a month now.
Maybe you want to email the administrator and Ed Diarmento, the engineer, at the same time.
Yeah, I believe I included both of those. I did include the administrator in that email. And since there's really nothing to report on that, I'll segue that into Malaga Lake Park. And I also emailed the administrator asking information about the grant that was applied for. But I didn't get a return email or a response to that email either. So I inquired for information about the Piney Hollow Green Acres grant and Malaga Lake Park. Both emails were sent out shortly after our last meeting, and I haven't had any response from either. So unfortunately, I don't have anything to convey about those two properties.
I forget the Malaga Lake Park thing. Was it true? It was like to replace the playground equipment and stuff like that. Was that what that was for?
I believe it wasn't really specified, and that was one of the questions that I asked of the administrator on the email, was what those funds would be allotted for the park. So we don't know.
But they were talking about. The only other thing about Malaga Park is that I put in the order for the signs. I mean, I got word back about the materials they'd be made of, confirmation of the wording, and I told them to go ahead, but the signs haven't come yet.
Okay, so we're still waiting on that.
Yeah, I guess that was a good 3 weeks ago or more. I'm not sure now, but so they should be available soon. But other than that, no other word.
Okay, and once we get that sign, we should really make a concentrated effort to replace the missing posts.
Yes, right.
So
I figured once we got them, then we'd be motivated to do that. So
yeah.
They may come in any day. Who knows? I haven't heard. I also didn't hear what they cost.
Right. Okay.
But I wasn't asked for an account number. So I just authorized. I went ahead and authorized.
Do you have a comment, Barbara?
Yeah, where is Jonathan Keene and Mike Marsh?
They are not present tonight.
Did they email you their excuse this month?
No, I haven't heard from them, no.
That's nice.
So yeah, we're kind of left in the dark for those two ongoing projects or potential projects. I will report about the Moth Night event that we held last month. We had to postpone it a week because of weather. There really wasn't much turnout. It was basically my family and friends, plus Mindy and her husband. And other than that, it was just two other people from the public. So I think in total, there may have been 12 people altogether, which was kind of disappointing turnout. These moth events have been becoming more and more popular, and there were several in the area this year to promote National Moth Week, and there was one at Scotland Run that was very well attended 2 weeks before. So I think anybody that was interested in moths and seeing moths locally probably got their moth fix from the other events that were held before our event. So maybe that contributed to the low turnout. But the moths showed up. I didn't tally the total number of species that we had seen, but it was well over 100 different species of nocturnal insects that we attracted. So everyone that was present enjoyed themselves, and we had a good long night of looking at some really interesting insects. But community involvement was almost non-existent for that event. So I don't know if I'm going to bother putting that event on in the future. It's not really worth it for, two or four people outside of my family and friends and fellow environmental commission attendees. So, all right, that brings us to our next thing on the agenda, which is Community Day, which is September 22nd.
I submitted the application, the registration form, to Carol Colburn, for us, and I requested 3 spaces.
Okay.
I didn't think we needed 4 necessarily. Yeah. And I asked that they be consecutive or contiguous.
Great. So are we expecting a confirmation? I guess they'll tell us what spots.
Yeah, well, it'll be there when you drive in. Yes, I asked for an inner aisle, not the outer one again. And the only other thing I had to do was I had to put down 3 names and phone numbers of people who would show up the next morning at 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
So I put down you, John, and you, Evan, and myself.
Great.
That's what we put down last year. I don't know who of us showed up, but I'm not even sure why, because we always clean our site completely. But,
did you recruit? Do you have any recruits for us this year to help man I know you have Ward usually helps us, and
he'll help with setup and breakdown. And Andy, my nephew Andy, will probably come and help us man the booth, and possibly my sister-in-law if she's around.
Great. What about collecting our materials from the recreation committee building?
I'll go get everything, because I now have access to I don't have to meet somebody there. I have the code. I need to give it to you, John.
Okay.
Somebody else. A parent. I kind of insisted on getting it because I thought it was. There's nothing there except these file cabinets, which
Yeah. Well, it shouldn't have taken as much effort as it did for you to get that information for us to access our own equipment.
Well, I'll go get the tables, and maybe it would be nice if I'll see if I can get somebody to meet me.
I'll meet you.
Evan, that was Evan who said he can help. And I can help also.
Thanks, Evan.
Just let me know when and what time you want to do it. We'll make something work.
Okay. Obviously, sometime that week, during the week before that Saturday.
Okay.
During
maybe Thursday or Friday or something?
Yeah, something. Maybe Wednesday or Thursday.
That's fine.
Because I don't really want to ride around with all that stuff in my car for more than a couple days, but a couple days is fine.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I will let you know.
Okay.
So
I'll check with you for a time, like perhaps the Wednesday before, which would be. I'm just looking at a calendar.
Does Ag have a booth this year?
No, it won't. They didn't really want to do it.
Okay, well, I guess they won't need my corn stalk then.
No. I'm sorry, the date's the 23rd, right?
I think it's the 22nd, but no, it might be the 23rd, whatever this Saturday is.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
I have a wedding the day before that, so I have those dates, the 22nd and the 23rd, kind of mixed up in my head.
Well, Evan, let's meet on the 20th, but I'll touch base with you to confirm.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks.
No worries.
So
Okay.
as for manning the booth that day, there's myself, Evan, possibly Andy. Are you going to be there, Suzanne, for the day?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Usually it's at 9:30 that we set up.
It's
I think so. I
Okay.
forget. Does it start at 11? I
I
think.
forget. I feel like I remember last year it was very confusing. They're like, oh, it starts at. I forget what it was. Something was very confusing. It was like we had to be there at 9, but then it was like 9:30, and then it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like it's probably 11, honestly. Yeah.
okay. I'll check that and send out a time that we should go because it always takes us a little while to set all that stuff up.
So I don't know if I think we have all of the materials and information that we're going to focus on for the year. I know we discussed that last month, and we're just going to basically be reusing a lot of the same topics that we discussed in the past, maybe with an emphasis on trying to recruit potential members.
Oh, yes.
But I kind of want to I was hoping John Keene would be here so we could get some reassurance that if we do make recommendations and if we do make an effort to recruit members, that they would actually, have a chance of being appointed to the Environmental Commission, because that's something we've had an issue for a couple of years. So I don't think we should waste our time and effort trying to recruit people if they're not going to be, appointed. I guess it's still good to try to get people involved with the Environmental Commission, even if they just come to our meetings and participate occasionally, and they don't have to necessarily be on the Environmental Commission. But I think the ultimate goal is to find future environmental commissioners.
Yeah, it probably doesn't hurt to recruit people, but it would be nice to know that we could get people appointed that we recommend. That is, people who will show up.
Right. All right. So I think we have Community Day pretty well covered. No new business. The only correspondence was from the Pinelands Commission informing us of a certificate of filing for block 6401, lots 27 and 28. So yeah, this is just a courtesy from the Pinelands Commission letting us know that they issued a certificate of filing. There's no development proposed, or I guess we don't know what the proposed development will be. They just have to get their certificate of filing before trying to develop or subdivide do anything on their existing lots in the Pinelands area. So we will see that in the future. And that's it. So unless anybody else has anything they'd like to bring up, I guess we would be ready for a motion for adjournment.
Before we adjourn, can I just, I had trouble throughout the meeting with the volume, and the picture did freeze a few times. Just curious, nobody else who's at home had troubles?
No,
I did not.
just feedback, getting feedback from it.
All right.
However,
Okay.
I did think about coming over to the meeting tonight, John, but then I wasn't sure whether we could run a Zoom meeting from inside the building. If I brought my laptop, would I be able to? open the Zoom meeting and make the recording if I were actually there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think we would know that unless we tried. But I was having a little bit of lag in the when we first started the meeting, but ever since then it's been pretty seamless. Other than the occasional feedback issues.
So
we
Margaret,
do.
how is it now? Can you hear it,
Well,
John?
right now, you're right on right now.
Yeah.
But it's been very difficult. Like next month, I will not be able to tell you that the minutes are correct because I have no idea.
Well, you can assume it.
Well, the recording of the meeting will also be posted to YouTube,
Yeah.
so you can rewatch our meeting. It's been a short one. It's only been 40 minutes. So
Okay.
if you're so inclined, you can watch the recording on YouTube, which should probably be up in a couple days.
Okay.
So that's it.
Well, I make a motion to adjourn.
I guess I'll
What?
second.
Jason Brandt made a motion for adjournment and Evan seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Well, it was good to see everyone. That was a nice fast meeting. That was our fastest one in a while.
Yeah.
I wish I had more to report about Piney Hollow and Malaga Lake, but I will try again to get that information that we were pursuing and pass that along at next month's meeting. And other than that, I will see you guys at Community Day.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
Okay, I have 8:14. Is that what you have for time?
No.
I have 8:21.
Yes.
Yeah,
Really?
8:21.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's what clock is wrong. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Night,
So,
Mindy.
Night.
Mindy.
everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
Have a great night.